Okay, I kind of messed up. So I'm an AMC Stubs member, and I can see like 4 movies a week for free. So that's how I usually watch most of my movies that I review. And when you have this, you're able to see Scream Unseen at AMC, and I've really enjoyed that in the past. I've seen some good movies, but I misread this Scream Unseen as Screen Unseen, not Scream Screen. So honestly, it's an honest mistake. So I thought I was going to see him today, but in reality, I saw Eleanor the Great. Probably one of the worst movies I've seen in the past couple of years. This is the first movie directed by Scarlett Johansson, and when I saw that, I knew this movie was going to be bad. Look, I like her. She was a great Black Widow, and she's been pretty good in most of the movies she's been in, but she's not an artist, man. She's not at all. She needs help, and she's good at being simple characters like Black Widow. She's the highest grossing actress of all time, which is an amazing accomplishment and something she should be very proud of. But that does not mean she's a fantastic actor or artist. She's a fantastic action star, but she is not an artist. She's not the next big actor, director, person out of Hollywood. Eleanor the Great is not much. There's not much to this plot, but I'll explain a little bit before we go any further. This movie follows Eleanor, who lost her best friend, who happens to be a Holocaust survivor. Eleanor's family makes her go to some Jewish meetings so she can just get out of the house, and she mistakenly goes into a Holocaust survivor meeting, where instead of saying, oops, I'm in the wrong meeting, she simply lies and tells her best friend's story, the one who passed away. Her story gets picked up by a 19-year-old student who doesn't look 19 at all, and you know how this kind of movie goes. Let me just give you the vibe of this movie. The main character is an American Jewish woman who married into a Jewish family, and that's how she became Jewish. And she's constantly rude to her family, and her family doesn't want her to live with her at all, and they just kind of want to kick her out until she dies. The other main character, the young 19-year-old woman, is a young black Jewish redhead lesbian whose mother died. Yeah, that's the vibe of the movie. This movie is not only for me, it's not for most Americans. Most Americans can't relate to something like this. This movie is meant for Jewish people from New York, because this movie is New York strong and about New York. Now, there are plenty of movies out there that have some kind of niche audience or niche theme or just a small ethnicity or whatever it is, and those movies are great. It does a great job of relating to most moviegoers and has a factor in each of the characters or just the plot that brings everyone in and saying, this is a movie I can get behind of. I can name countless movies like that. However, this is not one of them. This movie relies heavily on Jewish identity and the horrible concept of someone lying about the Holocaust, which I'm sure is a thing a lot of Jewish people have to face daily. Like, they're scared of a Jewish person or just anyone lying about being a Holocaust and telling someone else's story or just making up some lies about it. That's a real fear a lot of Jewish people, a lot of gypsies, a lot of other people who were in the Holocaust have to face, and that's a horrible truth. But that's not something I can fully relate to, so this movie has to bring me into it, and it doesn't do that. Scarlett Johansson does a terrible job of getting the audience to relate to these characters, not just because the whole Holocaust and Jewish part, but just the characters. The characters are terribly written, and I can't relate to a single one. It's also very pro kicking old people out of their homes, kicking your grandparents, your parents out of your house, and as an Irish Catholic, I hated seeing that. I grew up in a family where you take care of your loved ones and you don't kick out your elders. But that also means the elders don't treat the rest of the family like crap and aren't okay with how the family is moving or acts, behaves, and is growing with the rest of the world. I know that's a very American concept. Like, I've talked to many Americans before. I'm American myself, but Americans who've been in this country for longer, and they've always said, yeah, when my parents get old, I'm just going to send them to the house. And that's also the same case. So when the parents get old, they're going to go to a home. They don't want to bother their family. But for me, I keep it with my family. I'm not sending my parents to a house. I'm not sending my grandparents to a house. It's just not how I was raised, and it's not something I want to do. But that's not everyone. Everyone does stuff differently. That's what's beautiful about America. It's a bunch of different people coming together and making life, and that's what's beautiful about this country. But this movie shows another aspect, but doesn't do a great job of relating it to anyone. And now, I hate this movie for a lot of reasons. Like, a lot. And I'm not going to go into it. But the only reason I see critics disliking this movie online is because it portrays a woman who's lying about being a Holocaust survivor and trying to make it funny or just make her relatable in a way, even though she's not relatable. Like what? We've seen so many great and bad movies where the main character is awful and does plenty of evil things. But we don't dislike the movie because of the character, what they're doing. I mean, we may dislike it, but we don't dislike the movie because of it. We dislike it because it's not entertaining. It's badly written. The characters are unrelatable. The movie's just bad. The plot is bad. Or we may like it because it's entertaining. It shows conflict. It shows we can relate to anyone at one point. Or just a beautiful story where it just follows a villain, maybe. There's so many reasons going on why we like and dislike movies. But for this movie, it's just a bad movie. And the main character lying about the Holocaust is a bad thing, but doesn't do a really good job of us relating to this movie at all and liking any other aspect of it. Like, why are critics only upset about one aspect of this movie? There's so many other reasons to dislike this movie. It's just kind of annoying that their only reason they dislike this movie is because the main character is lying about a Holocaust story. Look, the script is weak, the acting is bad, Scarlett Johansson should stick to acting in action movies and does a horrible job relating to the viewer. So just don't really see this movie. Don't waste your time with this movie. It doesn't have a powerful message. Nothing about it is good. This is honestly one of the worst movies I've seen in a couple of years. And I've seen a lot of movies. I'm giving this a proud 3 out of 10. This is actually one of the first movies I've ever walked out of. Actually, it's the only movie I've ever walked out of. Thank you, Scarlett Johansson, for giving me that experience. So, what do you guys think of Eleanor the Great? Was my rating fair? Comment below your thoughts. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe and leave a like. Goodbye, y'all.